And good evening, everybody. This is Vinny Milletti with Milletti Law, the strongest name in law. First and foremost, please click on the link below where it says subscribe to the YouTube page, YouTube channel. This way, more subscribers, I can actually deliver more content and get to you. We have nicer stuff and branding. All that's only promoted by you girls and guys clicking to subscribe to the page, so that's fantastic. Also, go to the website, www.millettilaw.com. That's www.millettilaw.com, and sign up for the newsletter and always be in the know. Today is, as you said, it's Sunday, October 24th. It is the evening. Right now the time is 5:41. This is now our fourth video in the L&E series, the Law and Entertainment in the L&E series, where here at Milletti Law, we have the entertainment law, the fusion of entertainment and law. This video, episode number 4, we're going to touch on, we're still going through the unique, all of the unique properties, contracts and employment law. Remember, employment law contracts are just a little bit different. We had spoken about it, that they're really heavily focused on a lot of the oral discussions. They're really heavily focused on the informalities of it, because formalities are seen as uncertain when it comes to entertainment and contracts. So we had mentioned that you're always dealing with A types, right? You're dealing with artists, labels, brands, producers, marketing agencies, advertising, advertising brokers and stuff like that. You're dealing with very A-type people. A-type people don't like to be restricted. They don't like to be set down on things. Contracts always, usually, in most cases, promote longevity. They promote certainty. In this industry, contracts are seen as something different. Contracts are seen as promoting uncertainty, because the focus is in the uncertainty of A-type to collect the money and to collect the opportunities around them. So that's generally how it functions here. Remember, we had spoken about the complexities and the uniqueness of the contracts. So today we're going to speak about a very important situation. What happens? So what happens when there's a breach of the contract, right? Because remember, in this industry, in entertainment, contracts are, sometimes you don't even really get to a contract, right? Because everything's oral, so the formalities don't really work very well. There are deal memos, there are unsigned writings, there are just oral discussions back and forth. So a lot of times you don't actually get to the actual formal contract stage. We had spoken about maybe 7 ways you can get this you can get something in writing, right? We spoke about things like, getting items in writing. We spoke about stating what's binding and what's not. We spoke about details, bargain terms. We spoke about referencing prior deals. We spoke about simpler contracts and the importance of recitals. So today we just talk about so let's put it in perspective where we are today. Today we finally are getting into this formal contract area. We have a formal contract in place after all these months and weeks of negotiation, whatever the case is. What clauses do we put in the contract to promote continued negotiation and less conflict and less problems? So again, contracts in of themselves are representative of uncertainty in this industry. It's uncertain because it is uncertain where you're going to get your next dollar if you're stuck in a contract. Maybe a better deal opens up. Remember, artists, labels, they always want to move, always want to grow, right? So how do we promote flexibility? How do we promote that risk of breaking the contract, of breaching the contract, but at the same time always have the conversation going? So let me explain real quickly. And Milletti Law was always big on this, right? Anyone who knows me personally, anyone who has conversations with me personally, you all know I am not big on litigation. We'll sue if we have to, but my general tenor is that if you are in court and you're in litigation, you've already failed, because you can't have a good dialogue when you have court deadlines, when everything has to be on a motion. How can you have good open dialogue when everything's got to go through an attorney, everything's got to go through a motion in court, right? You simply can't. So the idea is that you want to be able to build a contract, you want to be able to build an agreement that encourages the parties to cooperate, encourages the parties to work together, as opposed to encouraging the parties to tell them to go screw each other and go directly to court. That's really what you want, right? So today we're just going to talk about 3 very important clauses that, I find to be very important when it comes to being able to get past these humps, get past these issues, to keep the relationship still going, keep people still negotiating, and, just generally your 3 keys on how to avoid, your 3 key terms on how to avoid contract issues. I probably should have started with the title. The title of this is 3 key terms on how to avoid contract issues. So let's get down to it. You obviously want the contract to be, you're hoping that at this point you have a contract that's determinable enough that you actually can come to the conclusion that there's been a breach, you know, well, what are we going to do? Or is there a breach coming somewhere out there? So what do we do at this point, right? So we insert clauses, not punitive, so not like indemnity, insurance. We insert clauses that encourage cooperation, right? So 3 clauses I like, and you can get the pen down for this one. The 3 clauses I like. I enjoy a best efforts clause. I enjoy a period of exclusive negotiations clause, and then I also enjoy a right of first refusal clause. So that's best efforts, period of exclusive negotiations, and right of first refusal. So let's go through them real quickly because I wanted to keep these videos somewhat short. There's a lot of videos to go. So we have a best efforts clause. So the best efforts clause, this is also known as a cooperation clause, right? So in the best efforts clause, we're saying here that these are some essential guidelines that the parties would go into to use best efforts to work it out, to cooperate. You know, we could write something there like, you know, the parties agree in advance that in the event of any disputes, they will have a 30-day period to encourage, to work it out, to have conversations. If that 30-day period doesn't work out, the parties agree to retain a mediator within the next 60-day period, and they split the cost in half. You know, whatever. Paragraphs like that encourage cooperation and dialogue as opposed to, you know, having fights and whatnot, right? So second, we also want a second provision I like to use is this. A clause that discusses a period of exclusive negotiations. A period of exclusive negotiations. What does this mean? It happens. Artists are go-getters, right? They're A-type personality go-getters, and they love to talk crap, and they love to be all over the face of everything. Labels, kind of the same way. Labels are the same thing. Labels are just like the level up to an artist, right? So labels are the same thing. Like to capitalize off opportunities and run and go, right? So here we go. Artist is talking to label A, right? Artist and label are talking. Artist is talking to label A. Now label B comes in and says, hey, I will give you this to artist and I'll give you these things. Artist goes, wow, it's amazing. Goodbye, label A. And all that time is spent, right? This is resolved just simply by having a period of exclusive negotiations. We could say that, and we could hit this on the deal memo, and we could say that, you know, upon the signing of the deal memo, you agreed to give us 6 weeks, right? Whatever the term may be, right? We spoke about having a term in the contracts, having a term in the deal memo. So you could always put some kind of term around exclusive negotiations to make sure that artist stays with label A and doesn't run away, or label A stays with the artist and doesn't want to brush the artist off because somebody's going to come in and whatever, looks prettier or whatever the case is, right? So the third thing I also want to say is a right of first refusal, right? A right of first refusal. So you see these things in like shareholder agreements, right? Where, you know, somebody wants to get out of their company, you know, the main company, the shareholders come in, right of first refusal, hey, rejection, or we don't want to, we'll buy you out, you know, we reject this, we'll pay for you at this price and you'll go, whatever the case is. Essentially, here we're just kind of like negotiating some kind of clause in which a party, whether it be the label, whether it be the artist itself, some party has like a right to step in at some moment and make an offer that basically will come to the top of everything, or give someone an opportunity that will skip to the head of the line and ensure that there's no breach, but rather give the parties like 90% of what they want, 80% of what they want, and make everybody happy and walk away, or make everyone equally miserable. But those are the 3 clauses that I usually like to push through that I think are very helpful for trying to preserve the relationship, trying to encourage more dialogue, and, you know, essentially, you know, I like I said, I like to call this 3 key issues, 3 key terms to avoid contract issues, 3 key terms to avoid contract issues. So hopefully this was helpful. There'll be many more. This is, again, part of the L&E series. This is our response to the market demand, baby. You guys and girls have asked for it. 28% of the traffic comes from entertainment law. You got queries. I didn't even realize that at first. I've spoken to many of you artists over the phone. I've spoken to many of you contacts, and more than happy to work with all of you. You've asked for it. We're delivering content left and right on this. So this is, we like to call this the future, the fusion of entertainment and law. This is Millennial Law. This has been the L&E series. This is episode number 4. Again, if you like the video, subscribe. You should subscribe anyway because I'm freaking awesome, and you're going to want to all know me and love me. And also go to the website, www.millenniallaw.com, www.millenniallaw.com. Sign up to the newsletter, see all the crazy nonsense we're going. We got a petition going for, we got petitions going for, what do you call it, for the fire department. We got all kinds of nonsense going on for the nurses. Everything's happening all over the place. Join this movement, and look, you have a wonderful day. Yours and Law's Love and Lifts. This is Video Law, and have a great day.